Hey everyone, welcome to Washington, D.C. and the George Washington Women's Basketball Atlantic 10 preview. Pleased to be joined today by head coach Jennifer Rosati, entering her fourth season here in Foggy Bottom. Coach, thanks so much for taking some time today.
Yes, can't believe I'm going into my fourth season.
Time's flying by here. Let's start with your returners for this coming year's team. We're talking to two of them today, and Neela Luma and Kayla Makwa. Front court dominated for those that are coming back. How have you seen them progress from the end of last season?
Yeah, I mean, we do have some good pieces coming back. They are still young in some cases, but in Neela's case, she's definitely our most experienced player by far. She's logged the most minutes, scored the most points, had the most rebounds, and certainly was one of our key pieces in the championship run a few years ago. So I'm excited about her becoming an upperclassman. Really need to see her take a big step forward this year in terms of production, leadership, and just overall consistency. And I know she's really set out to do that this year. Kayla was obviously one of the more impressive overall players at the end of last season in the conference. I thought she had a tremendous February and certainly showed what she's capable of doing in the Atlantic 10. So we need to see her be able to do that consistently throughout the season. She's going to draw more attention, certainly. She was getting double teamed a lot towards the end of last season, so she's going to have to learn how to handle having a bigger scoring presence, drawing tougher defensive assignments, and again, being really consistent for us on both ends of the floor.
Now you're also adding a bunch of new pieces, 7 newcomers, but it's interesting because it's not 7 freshmen. There's some veteran presence. You have a couple graduate transfers, a transfer that sat out last year. Tell us about them and what you're expecting from them this season.
Yeah, if you're going to have 7 new guys, we definitely have the right mix. Starting with our grad transfers, Ariel and Alex, both coming off of 4-year careers. Both at Wake Forest and Yale, and they just add a ton of maturity for us, and it's exactly what we needed. We needed senior presence, senior leadership. They both are really vocal. They've been through the wars. They've both been through injuries, so they've had to sit out in years and see the game from a coach's perspective. They really have come in and made their presence felt. They work hard, they're vocal, they understand what it takes to be a college student athlete, and I'm excited about them and what they can add to our program. Obviously, we had Sydney Zambrata sitting out last year. We're really excited about her being eligible to play, and she's one that we got a chance to see in practice, and so we know what she can do, and she's super hungry about being able to finish her college career and have 2 solid years where she can really make an impact on the court for us. And then we've got our freshmen and redshirt freshmen. Obviously, we were excited about Tori and Maiwa last year and what we thought they could do for us. So hopefully they learned a lot in the year that they sat out, and we're excited to see what they can do to make an impact for us. And I think they'll make a pretty immediate impact. And to be honest with you, I think 2 of our most impressive players so far have been our true freshmen, Essence and Faith. They came in and crushed the conditioning all summer. They're strong, they're fit, they're mature. So I think they're really going to be able to add a level of competitiveness to practice every day, really push our guys, and they add some versatility. They can play multiple positions. So we are much deeper, more talented, and I think just balanced in terms of our ability to be able to score and play a lot of different kinds of lineups this year.
And you're going to have a very tough slate to go up with that new and interesting lineup and the depth that maybe wasn't there at times last season. Another challenging non-conference schedule. I know that's something that you take pride in. Take us through the schedule and how you view that in terms of preparing yourself for A-10 play and then Dayton in March.
Yeah. Well, we always want to make sure that we figure out what it is that our strengths are as well as our weaknesses in the first 2 months of the season, and I do think our schedule sets us up for that. I mean, we have some big name Big Ten schools on the slate in Maryland and Minnesota, but I think more importantly, we have a lot of conference champions and postseason play teams. When you look at what Villanova's been able to do over the years, obviously Princeton being in the NCAA tournament, you've got JMU out of the Colonial, you got American who's always successful, Georgetown, Lehigh who's also solid in the Patriot League. We really try to put a lot of teams on our schedule that have success year in and year out, because you know you're going to be challenged, you know that they're going to be prepared, you know that they're well coached. And you know that they're going to be similar to a lot of the teams in the Atlantic 10. And on all of our goal is to be in Dayton at the end of the year playing for the A-10 championship. Every one of the coaches in in the Atlantic 10 will tell you the same. That's where we want to end up. So we need to use this time in October when we practice, and November and December when we have these great opportunities to play against great opponents to get ourselves ready to accomplish that goal.
It all starts soon. Coach, we look forward to seeing your team out there very shortly. Appreciate the time today.
All right, thanks.
Now joined by junior Nila Luma and sophomore Kayla Makwa as we continue our preview of the 2019-20 George Washington women's basketball team. Ladies, thanks for joining us. Let's get started with you, Nila. Obviously, you are one of the more veteran players on this team, now a junior. How have you taken a new leadership role with the new expectations of being an upperclassman?
Yeah, so working hard and leading by example has always been something that came naturally to me, but with the graduation of our most vocal leader, I've been trying to step up and fill that role.
In that vein, what have you learned about your team in this offseason, and who are some of the newcomers and maybe some of the returners that have impressed you the most?
So far, I think that we've really gelled off the court, and I think that we can bring that chemistry on the court and turn it into something really special. And I think that everyone on the team has contributed something important. The freshmen have continued to gain their confidence and be more comfortable with the team, which is really important for us to grow. I've been really excited to see Sid, Tori, and Maiwa back on the court because they're great pieces to the team. And all of the upperclassmen have continued to be vocal, bring the energy every day and their positivity to help lead us in the right direction.
Kayla, you really hit your stride in conference play at the end of last season. What led to that development, and how has that really helped you for your second season here at GW?
I think all the struggles I went through throughout the last season definitely helped me hit my stride when conference play came, because I learned from those mistakes and I developed into kind of a new player, and I just had a new mindset going into conference play. I really just wanted to step forward and help my team out when they most needed it. And going into this season, I'm bringing that newfound confidence I brought to myself last year. And I plan on just using that to be more consistent and just play like myself.
Along with that confidence growing off the court, where do you believe you grew the most in the off season, and what's your level of comfort compared to this year with a year under your belt compared to last year?
I'm definitely more comfortable just playing like myself. I'm definitely more consistent. I think that's something I've been working on, just with getting extra reps in and going to shoot more, practicing harder and faster, and coming in. Even when I have my off days, I tend to bounce back faster. When I have my off moments, I tend to bounce back faster. So just being a player who my teammates can rely on is something I'm really focusing in on this season.
And both y'all, you both play the same position but provide very different skill sets. How have you been able to use each other to continue to grow your game?
Playing with Kayla has definitely helped me gain more court awareness and versatility. Because she's such a great post player, I'm able to play on the outside and work on my outside game.
Same goes for Nila. I mean, we're both post players, but we definitely have different skill sets. So as I'm more playing the inside and work on my post moves, she can play on the outside and has a great jump shot. And I think that's definitely something, since I have to guard her every single day, defensively wise, she's definitely helped me a lot.
And ladies, final question for you. The goal of this team every year is to win the A-10 championship. So what are some key elements for GW to get back to that game and win it just like we did a couple years ago?
I think that a new focus our team has had this year is to focus on the day-to-day development of our team, going into practice every single day, knowing this is going to be our best practice, and going through my weight room every day and just thinking we're going to push each other as hard as we possibly can today. And I think if we continue to do that, the sky's the limit.
And going off of that, defense has always been a major focus of ours, as well as communication and focusing on the little things. So I feel like when we continue to harp on those three things, that can definitely help us get back to the top.
Ladies, thanks again for joining us. Best of luck this coming season.
Thank you.
All right, folks, don't forget the A-10 Women's Basketball Championship starts March 3rd with first-round games before moving to the University of Dayton, March 6th through the 8th, where another A-10 champion will be crowned. We look forward to that, and we look forward to the season tipping off soon. From Foggy Bottom, thanks for tuning in to the GW Women's Basketball Preview.